All right, so I finally got some time to be able to talk about one of the new AI robots that's on the market, and it's still not open to like the public to buy or anything like that, but it's Figure One. And I was talking about this particular topic, one of my last Tesla videos with the Tesla Optimus robot, and one of the things that I called out that is missing from these humanoid robots is that these humanoid robots need a way to interface with them. And what Figure One has done differently, they have partnered up with OpenAI and have created a humanoid robot that's able to conversate with a human. And this is super, super important because you have to have some type of input device to be able to command the robot what to do. And so that way it can understand what actions it needs to do. The next thing that I'll call out here that is extremely important is overall just the partnership that they've done. So the fact that they've done a partnership with OpenAI, it's not just a text platform, it's an AI platform. And when I say it's not a text platform, I mean it's not like a text-to-speech platform, like let's say for instance like Google. Don't get me wrong, like there's probably AI in the background of like doing Google with all your Google command stuff, like turn on the TV and tell me the weather today and all those different things you could say with Google commands. Those aren't really able to give you like answers to a question. Like if you wanted to ask like, hey, like when was Christopher Columbus born? Or hey, what is the color of an apple? Or can you describe to me the shape of an apple? These are all things that like Google really can't do, at least on like with Google Home products and stuff like that, right? Whereas like OpenAI, if you like type that into the chat, it can explain stuff to you, and you can have it reiterate like, yeah, that didn't really make much sense to me. Can you explain this in another way? And then it will try to give you another description. Or if you want the description to sound completely different, like, can you make this sound more friendly? Then the robot can then come back and say something in a more friendly manner. And so these are just examples in the way that you can, modify your command and have the robot modify its output and be able to search for new things that maybe it doesn't know how to do yet. So like, let's say for instance, you said, hey, pick up this apple. It was already trained to pick up the apple. Okay, big deal, right? But then what happens whenever you put some other product in front of it, like a banana that it's never seen before, never had a banana in front of it? And let's say, for instance, you're using, AI to teach this robot. Also, OpenAI has the ability to, examine images and stuff now. So it can literally go to the internet and say, "What's a banana?" And we know that this capability is already there because Google is able to do this with Google Photos and being able to recognize like people in your family and friends and pets and recognize different things. Like you can say like boat. And so that visual library has already been built out through a lot of other systems. So that's already there. So the fact that we can talk to this thing, we can have it go to the internet or have it analyze a photo to be able to teach itself what some product is, that's a game changer, right? So you don't see anybody else that has a humanoid robot that is doing that. And the partnership with just the AI company and with one of the AI companies that is kind of leading the forefront. So also, if you don't know who OpenAI is, or ChatGPT. So you probably heard of ChatGPT. It's gotten really hot and it's kind of died down a little bit. But ChatGPT is like the #1 chat bot for being able to talk to it conversationally, for it to it's the same thing that college students were having to write essays and stuff for them. So if it has the ability for college students to, write essays for them, and for some professors to not even be able to, identify that the student didn't write this essay, that just tells you what the capability of this robot will be able to do. It has the exact same capability. Now, one other thing that's super impressive about this company is they've only been around for like 18 months, which is mind-blowing how long they've been around. It's been a very short period of time for them to develop a robot to the degree that they have. I'll say mechanically, I'm very surprised that it took the industry so long to be able to develop the robot that they have, or all the robots that you see, all these different humanoid robots. I'm not gonna say it's not complex, but also if you put a team of engineers on something like that, like, I'm not gonna say it's not that complex either, because it's definitely complex. However, in the grand scheme of things, I really think a lot of companies have only been working on this for a couple of years anyway. Like, Tesla and the Tesla bot, who knows? Maybe 4 years they've been working on it. They probably started tinkering on it like 4 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago, who knows? But you have some companies like, Boston Dynamics and their robot, and it's just like, it can do some of the most things as far as like physically, right? Like being able to handle like crazy terrains and jump and flip and do stuff like that and being robust. It's definitely by far wins in that category. necessary, but it's definitely lacking in a lot of other things. It's not very humanoid at all. I don't know if it's necessary, right? These robots really don't have to be humanoid. They just have to be able to perform whatever job function we need them to do and fit in the form factor that we need them to fit in to be able to do the job. I just think they did a really good job at being able to execute this thing so quickly. I mean, 18 months, it's just mind-blowingly quick. Very curious to see what they'll do in like the upcoming years. You know, Tesla could use the same OpenAI platform in the Tesla robot, you know, to be able to do AI. Even though Tesla's working on their own AI, they can still partner with another company that has good AI already. Maybe it's, you know, Google, and they just released Gemini. I think some of the AI partnerships will make a pretty big impact, and some of the success that we see with some of these companies. You know, also too, you just never know. Like, I feel like it's not plausible. If they are doing it, it's very secretive, and they're not letting anybody know anything about it as of right now. But again, with partnerships and stuff like that, I think it might happen. You know what? One other big thing that Figure One has going for them, their parent company has raised like over $600 million or something like that. They're valued at like $2.2 billion company, and this robot thing is like one of the primary things they're doing. So they have money to devote towards this robot, and I'll say that their evaluation is based on the robot, meaning they can dump every dollar that they have into the robot itself until the company goes bust. Whereas like a company like Tesla, which I love the fact that they're generating their own revenue, and Tesla has other obligations, right? They have their automotive side of their company that, like, if things start going really bad in the automotive side, then they have to kind of drop all Tesla things and handle the automotive side. You know, can be dictated on like how well the automotive side of things go. I mean, also economy, how well the economy goes. Economy can impact somebody like a Tesla more than OpenAI, or not OpenAI, but most of their stuff is from funding, and they've already been funded and already have a good amount of funding. In my opinion, the only way a company like Figure One can compete on the manufacturing side for one of these humanoid robots, so when they go into production, is if they partner with some company in the same way you see like iPhones and like Samsung. Like, these companies are not building their own phones, they're having some other company build their phone, like cell phones. So if they, like, you know, contract out the manufacturing of this robot, then they'll be back in the game again. But if they try to manufacture it themselves, then I think they're not gonna have the advantage that Tesla has. And another big thing is too, just in the design of it, there's going to be optimizations. Like, it's going to be designed for manufacturing and better because their engineers are ready for that. They're prepared and experienced in that. Yeah, just all around, I think that on the manufacturing side, you know, Tesla's gonna be able to ramp up a lot quicker too. Like, if they both said we're going into production immediately, like, Tesla will probably be years ahead of them in the manufacturing process. And be able to, you know, probably output 10 times the amount of units that Figure One can put out. So yeah, let's stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you're interested in anything AI or robotics. We're a manufacturing automation company, so this is what we do, and this is what I've done my entire career. So I'm happy to be able to, like, share any information that I have on these topics and kind of my insights and my point of view, since I really come from this sector. So yeah, if you have any comments, put them down below, and let me know like what type of contents or topics you'd like for me to talk on this topic, or also if anything just automation, manufacturing related. Catch y'all the next one.